Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwanter and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today we continue our conversation with Vijay Sundaram. He's Chief Strategy Officer with Zoho.
Hey, thanks
Welcome.
again. Happy to join you on this conversation.
Let's talk about Zoho CRM and how you integrate with marketing.
Mm-hmm. Well, the first element of this is, if there's one thing we've seen is silos that used to be erected in dealing with customers have now collapsed. So earlier there was a notion of somebody ran sales, somebody ran marketing, and someone completely divorced from these two running customer support. And now people see all that whole thing through the lens of a single customer experience, starting from a prospecting process and ending in a retention process, or even getting them to advocate for you, right? And everything in between.
Right.
So software has evolved to adapt that. In some cases, software has led that. Because of these capabilities, people have started integrating their systems and their viewpoints. So what we've done with Zoho is we've put together this product called Zoho CRM Plus, which has been in the market about 3 years now. And it's an integrated suite that addresses all aspects of it. So think of it as a prospecting stage before somebody becomes a customer. So all the stuff of engaging with people, knowing how they visit you, what are they doing on your website, maybe running campaigns for them, of course, with their permissions and so on. And then transitioning it into an acquisition phase, which is the central theme of sales. And then moving forth beyond that into customer service, retention, loyalty, and the other things. So this is a suite that covers all of that. So that's the first element of what it is. The second aspect of it is, software gets designed by people in a lab thinking how a real life process works. Okay, and maybe we get it right 50% of the time. We're not going to get it right for most companies, especially the way businesses are getting more and more complex. So what you have to do, you have to build in the tool something fundamentally flexible that allows people to use the tool even if they depart dramatically from your concept of what their model should be. And so what we did at Zoho is we created something called Blueprint inside our CRM, which is essentially what it is. It allows you to model a process. So let's say you're running a service center for cars. So you want to create a process that says, okay, this is when somebody comes in for routine maintenance, it goes down this path, and if it's body work, it goes this way, and if it's engine work, it goes this way, and so on. And if someone comes for something specialized, this is what I do. If somebody is a high-value premium customer, I take them down this other path. How are you going to use a CRM to solve that today? You can't. And no CRM can purport to do that. Right. So what you do is because we created this thing called a blueprint, so the user of the software can actually model this process. So they can define those paths and say, if the customer comes in with this kind of capability for a repair as opposed to routine maintenance, I'm going to take down this path, these are the mechanics involved, here's the process, and so on. So they define the process, and then the rest of the thing that the CRM does fits in to enable it. Everything to do from scheduling, from alerting, notifications, contacting people, all the other things that CRM does well can fit into this process that you just defined rather than the default process that every CRM follows.
So you can configure the process, you can customize it.
Yeah.
How about the marketing part where some salespeople need to call a certain amount of leads to create prospects? Is that integrated?
Yeah, so the marketing element is, prospecting is the first element of this. Think of it as a trioka, there's prospecting, acquisition, and retention. So if you take the prospecting part, there's several tools you can prospect. You can do it through phone calls. You can do it through email campaigns, or you could do it through social media, or through your website. So many ways you can reach out to people, and so all of those can be integrated so that their outcomes are tied into the sales process. So the sales process is aware of how somebody came into this whole system. Right. It allows somebody, these two processes are separated, but there's no reason why the same person can't perform both. To your question.
Sure.
So the guy doing the sales can wear his red hat in the morning and go ahead and do the prospecting, and his blue hat in the afternoon and go ahead and do the sales process in the afternoon, and the system just connects the two.
Right. So that a salesperson, let's say, has a new sales target and they want to accelerate sales in the last quarter, they can go to their own database and send out an email from Zoho?
Yes, so they could look into they can say, there are a number of ways you can do this, right? So one is, let's say I want to prospect more.
Right.
Another one might be, what should I focus on? And I got to meet these numbers, what should I focus on?
Right.
And that's where elements of AI are coming into the system. So we have an AI system called Zia that actually runs across all of Zoho products. But in CRM, it's focused on sales tasks. So one of the things it does is it gives you some sort of a prediction. It tells you that in your pipeline, you have 100 deals you're working on, 20 of them look like they likely close in 30 days. And 40 of them look like 50-50, right? And then you've got another 40 that look like they won't make it. So imagine presenting you with that information. Again, that's a heuristic done by some AI system that has looked at traditional patterns of sales, right? Which of course is not cast in stone, it's a learnable system. So you can tweak it and say, you got this one wrong, change this, right? And so on. So after the fact, that's what a true AI learning system is. So when you do that, now going back to the use case that you pick, the salesperson needs to meet his or her number so he can actually do the prospecting, as you said, and run an email program. That's the integration part of it. Or they can use the AI part of it and say, here are my deals, which ones look like at risk? Can I rope in somebody who's better at this than me, or who's my senior, or whatever it is, or my supervisor on some of these deals that look big and are critical and are at risk? Because the system pointed out, So these are some of the multiple techniques that you're seeing in software today that enable the salesperson to do a better job.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Can people learn about that CRM Plus solution on your website?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a whole lot of material on it, webinars, tools.
We're going to continue our conversation with Vijay. And in our last segment, we'll talk about how technology is impacting sales and what future we can expect for the sales profession. Thank you.
Thank you.